We're in third and long, family. I have to level with y'all, if I may. 363 days ago, talking about Justin Herbert, I said a thing. I want you to listen to it. I said at first, Herbert was overpraised, but not overrated. It's time for me to correct myself. Justin Herbert is both overpraised and maybe the most overrated quarterback in football. Overpraised, I said shady. Overrated, I said shady. Justin Herbert in his career is 27-28. If you include the playoff game, he is 27-29. He's a losing quarterback. This season, he is 2-4. They are not on the brink nor the verge of making the playoffs in his fourth season. He's on his second head coach. If it continues in this trend, he will be on his third coach in 4 years. I do believe that Justin Herbert, who many have proclaimed as a top 5 quarterback in football, is both overrated. He's not as overpraised anymore because people are starting to waken up. The aperture of their mind is starting to be opened. But Shady, I said from the beginning, Herbert was overrated and he was overpraised. Was your boy right?
You are my boy. That's right.
My dog.
That part's right. Overrated sounds wild, though.
Okay.
Because he's that good where he could be an MVP. I could see MVP in his future. You could too, probably.
Sure.
Right? So it's hard to call an MVP like kind of...
MVP talent.
MVP talent kind of overrated, right? So when you talk about overrated, like, why do you rate him high? It's because he got talent, he's strong, he can throw, the ideal type of quarterback you want. He has that. I'm going to go more on, you said something about he's not a winner. I'm with that lane, right? I'm in that lane. I don't think he's a winner. Not yet. He has to get there. I mean, because the stats that he has, the things he's done, the things he's accomplished, they didn't give him that. He earned that. In the first 3 years, any quarterback, more touchdowns, more yards, he earned that. Because he's that good. $200 million, $50 million? He earned that because he's that good. We need some results. Now, I could go with you as far as not being a winner, you know, not holding up the bargain as far as being talented and not delivering. It's a lot of quarterbacks and players like that. They're super, super talented, but don't deliver. Like a James Harden.
Yeah.
Give you all them buckets, you know, the beard, commercials, shots, money, but don't win. Go to a team, they don't win. I hope he's not in that category, but he's looking like it. So until he start winning games, I won't call him overrated. I'll just call him not a winner.
James?
It's on you, James. Take your time.
Are you scared to speak, James?
He draws.
You're over there playing tic-tac-toe. You scared to answer the
No,
question?
because I'm trying to bottle it all up, man. Because I'm looking at this dude. I watched this dude play.
It's a hard question.
And this dude can easily be an MVP in this league. I asked you the other day, last week on the show, what's his ceiling? You told me 45 touchdowns and 5,000. Like that's MVP type numbers. Like when we look at Justin Herbert play and even with the losses that Justin Herbert has had, some of the stuff he showed us on the football field showed us that greatness. Like, he could be great. So, I do not agree with you, even though you my dog. He is not overrated at all. Really? And it ain't even close. And if I had to tell you off air, write down your top 10 quarterbacks in this league, I promise you he in there.
Agreed.
For sure.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying?
he's in
So
there.
when we talking about a top 10 talent...
But no, hold on. I gotta stop you. I have to stop you. We don't say he's top 10. If we said he's top 10, I wouldn't have uttered the words overrated and overpraised. I promise you I wouldn't have. We say he's top 5. There's a huge difference there. So that's the only reason I had to stop you. Top 10, I'm with you. Please go and cook. But if we say he's top 5.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Talent-wise, I would put him in top 5.
Top 5 talent?
Yes. The only reason why I can't put him in the top 5 is like Shady said, he's not winning. You know what I'm saying? But when you just talk about the talent at the quarterback position, and that's why I hate it, because I feel like, number one, I don't feel like it. I know that football's a team sport, you know? And yes, it is certain quarterbacks that got game-winning drives. When Derek Carr came into the National Football League in 2014, he has the most fourth-quarter comebacks as a quarterback. We wouldn't take Derek Carr over a lot of these quarterbacks, and Derek Carr, my brother, but you guys would probably put Derek Carr behind a lot of these quarterbacks, but he has the most fourth-quarter comebacks since he came into this league, right? So for me, winning has a lot to do with your team as well, and I understand he had the ball in his hands certain times to win games, but when we talking about Justin Herbert and we talking about ceiling, like you said, 45 touchdowns, 5,000 yards, when we talking about this as a top 5 talent, there's no way that we can even sit here and say this man overrated. Acho,
Go ahead.
I want to hear why you guys say this man overrated. And please leave the victories out of it because it's a team sport.
This ain't Sunday. It's Monday. Be nice.
Joy, I want to hear you, Joy, because I know you got to be on my side because we sit close to each other.
I hear you both on the overrated thing. It's hard to have this the statistics that he has and call him overrated. I picked him as to win the MVP. Obviously, I thought they'd have a better season than they're having, but he has MVP level talent. But here is where I get where I have to side with Emmanuel on the overpraise. I have to, and I kind of always have on the overpraise because after his rookie season. In love. I mean, really, I like Justin Herbert coming into the league. After he played his bowl game, I was like, oh, he's way better than people thought he was coming out of college. He wasn't being talked about like that until that bowl game. I was like, no, he's got potential. We've seen something different in him. They let him play a little bit. He has the ability to play at this level. But this is why I defend Jalen Hurts so much when people question what Jalen Hurts is actually capable of. How good is Jalen Hurts? Is he worth that money? Is he really established himself as yes? He wins games. Even when he makes mistakes, he wins games against good teams. That's what you saw last night. Justin Herbert throws 2 interceptions. We might as well mercy rule the game. We might as well mercy rule. It's over.
Yeah, 28 defense.
You have to win. Like, I get it. Talent is so sexy. Oh, we love a talented person. But what do they actually accomplish? And at some point or another, you got to be measured up against your peers. And when you have a record like this, and I know everyone keeps talking about the Chargers and this and that. There's so much. You want to talk about talent? There's so much talent on this team.
All right.
There's so much talent on this team, and the ball is in your hands. If you like that, you got to make it happen because we're watching other guys do it that are in your draft class, that are around your age, that have less experience than you in the league. So I hate to pile on him because he is still a young player, and I think he still has the potential to grow. But we haven't seen it yet. So where I agree with you is the overpraised part because talent is amazing. You have to have the talent. I agree with that. But we've seen a lot of talented people not have the success in the postseason and the wins that we think that they're capable of because they can't always put it together. And I do think there is something to winning. There is something to closing games out. There is something to putting the team on your back. That's why they get paid that. Okay, so your defense didn't come up big. Go win the game. You got 2.5 minutes left. That is an eternity. That might as well be a quarter. Yeah. And you have the 2-minute warning and 2 timeouts. Why can't we score?
And wide receivers.
Why can't we score? So I can't say he's overrated because we do see the talent with our eyeballs. We read the statistics. He's playing in the same league as all these other quarterbacks and putting up those stats. So I have to respect that. But I also have to respect the guys that are winning games and they're also being paid. Go win the bleeping game. You have the ball in your hand at the end of the game.
Shady, let me drop a bar on you.
I see you writing.
Let me drop a bar on you. If all you see is what you see, then you don't see all there is to be seen.
One more time?
Yeah.
If all you see is what you see, then you don't see all there is to be seen. What is everybody talking about with Herbert? He's got the size. He's got the arm strength.
Yeah.
He's got the height. He's got the physical ability. All you see is what you literally see, then you don't see all there is to be seen because Herbert doesn't have it. And you can't see it. And Shady, you know better than anybody about it because you played with Tom Brady. And Tom Brady had it in excess. Yeah. See, Tom Brady didn't get drafted that high because he didn't have all the tangibles that Herbert had. Tom Brady ran a 5-second 40-yard dash. Tom Brady's arm was not lively. It was not wiry. Tom Brady was not going to run away from a defensive end. But Tom Brady had it in excess. If all you see is what you see, you don't see all there is to be seen. And when you look at Justin Herbert, all you see is what you see. But America, it is the differentiating factor. You want to talk about going to a bad organization because the Chargers, at least as of late, haven't been great. What did Joe Burrow do when he went to the Bengals, America?
Win.
What did Tua do when he went to the Dolphins? That organization wasn't great.
Win.
So if all you see is what you see, you don't see all there is to be seen. I am pleading with you all. Look beneath just the height, the stature, the arm. Look beneath that. There's more to winning and losing than arm talent, than height, than mobility, and that to me is the dilemma, George.
The only thing I will say about this season that I'm gonna just give it just a little tiny pause. They got a little nice stretch of schedule coming up. Win the next few games. They have some easier opponents. Now they could very easily lose to these teams as well.
Worse.
But you're more talented than these teams coming up. All right, you've got the Bears next week. You should beat the Jets. The Lions is going to be a tough one. You should beat the Packers. Get into that Ravens game with 1 loss. You could turn the entire season around.
So that's 4 wins right there?
Right.
You know what? Overhype is extreme for me. I can't say overhyped. But overpraise, that's a good one. because that's two different things. Overpraised him too much, right?
Yep.
What's he done to get that praise?
Thank you.
Overhype is like, yo, he's talented, he's good. He's not as good as we thought. No, it's not that. It's the overpraise. What's the results you're giving us? Because that's what's missing. What's missing is the results.
Yeah.
Right? What's missing is wins. Those are things that he's not giving us. And the things like Jalen Hurts, when they argue about the talent, I think most people would say that he's probably more talented than Jalen Hurts, right? But one thing that Jalen Hurts gives you is them wins. He gives you them results. That's what's missing from him. So if we're going to start putting this guy, not just by talent, but just as an overall quarterback, as high as we do, we got to hold him to that standard. Like, you can't be 1-5 against Patrick Mahomes and say you one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
You can't give up a 28-point lead in the playoffs.
Yeah,
man.
so I do agree with you to a certain extent as far as overpraised. Overhype sounds wild, but when you start breaking this dude's tape down, his stats, what he's doing, what he's accomplishing, it's only numbers.
James,
Are we really putting all this on Justin Herbert?
Yeah.
That's
a quarterback stat, yes.
We really putting all this on Justin Herbert.
Well, hold on now, James. Hold on now.
I am.
Let me just present a tiny case, a small case.
Present it, because if you don't, I will.
If Lamar Jackson was 2-4 right now,
Ooh, Jesus.
the world would be on fire. If Josh Allen was 2-4 right now,
What would happen?
the world would be
That's
ablaze.
a good point.
Okay.
Jalen Hurts.
Who else?
Jalen Hurts.
Keep cooking.
Tua.
Keep cooking.
Joe Burrow. We give Joe Burrow. So if we're gonna give everybody else smoke, we certainly give it to Russell Wilson.
Absolutely.
We certainly give it to any quarterback that we at one point either considered at the top of the league or is at the top of the league. These problems. So if you're going to do all that and you get $200 million, yeah, you got to be in the same. You got to get the smoke with everybody else. You can't just, I know you got the flowy hair and all that. Like, we like
Smoke
it.
detector finna go off.
But at some point, right? Like, is that fair? It's not that. I don't think it's all Justin Herbert. I don't think it's all Justin Herbert's fault. But it would be everybody else's fault.
All those dudes you just said right now, can you sit here and say they overrated?
But I don't think he's
we don't
overrated.
talk about
I think he's I agree that he's being overpraised. Because if any of those other quarterbacks were playing like that, had the ball in their hands at the end of the game, and had this record going at this point in the season with the expectations that they came into it this year, there would be smoke and fire.
So
brimstone and ashes raining from the sky.
So we have not seen quarterbacks go in bad situations. We have not.
Keep going.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
We have not seen people bash Lamar Jackson for how he's looked during certain seasons.
Sure.
We see how people bashing Russell Wilson. We see how people bash Josh Allen, including me, when he has these certain type games. Like, these quarterbacks get bashed too, right?
Yeah,
None of them quarterbacks, and you can say they won a couple more playoffs than Justin Herbert. The goal is to win a Super Bowl. Ain't none of them quarterbacks did that.
What point are you making? Elaborate. Break this down for me. Break this down.
We getting on Justin Herbert because Justin Herbert ain't won playoff games and all this and not winning games. If we talking like that, ain't none of these dudes accomplished Super Bowls.
He hasn't won not one playoff game.
It don't matter.
Here's
it
what I'm
ain't
getting.
all on him is what I'm saying. So Josh Allen, is it all on Josh Allen? Because they ain't been.
When they lose,
Is it all on Josh Allen they like this?
When they lose, who we blame? Who we blame?
Josh.
We blame Josh.
When they lose, who they blame when they lose?
Last year versus the Bengals, we blamed the mess out of Josh.
Lamar Jackson. Hold up. Everybody kills Lamar Jackson.
Lamar gets blamed when he's not even playing. Because he's not playing.
Here's my only thing, James, and I got to take us to break, but if you want to respond, you can.
You guys putting a lot on the.
Here's the only thing. The only thing is now 4 losses, America. I'm not making this up. This is the tape. I challenge you to go back and look at it. And the 4 losses, Miami Dolphins. The Chargers were winning. Tua had the ball. He went down the field. He scored. Justin Herbert had the ball. He went sack, grounding, sack, game was over. That was the first loss. The second loss to the Tennessee Titans. Thankfully, the Chargers won the toss. Go down, score, game is over. What did Justin Herbert do? 3 straight incompletions. Ryan Tannehill, their offense, they took the ball, they scored, game over. Third loss, Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys, the game was tied. Dak Prescott had the ball with 6 minutes left. He went down the field, he got a field goal. Justin Herbert got the ball. Interception, Stephon Gilmore. Game is over. Fourth loss, Kansas City Chiefs. That was a 1-possession game, the entirety of the game until the Chiefs' very last possession. At the start of halftime, it was 24-17. The Chargers defense held the Chiefs to punt, fumble, punt, punt. Herbert cannot do anything with that. Herbert went interception, punt, punt, punt.
Man.
Game is over. So the reason I am blaming Justin Herbert is because in every single game, there has been opportunity. Every single one. I'm not making this up.
Shady, Joy, Acho. in this kid's first 3 years.
Oh,
He'll give some stats about his numbers. Go ahead. I did this too. Go ahead. I did this too.
Here he goes. Okay.
He has a top 10 offense.
Yep.
Most passing yards, most touchdowns.
All time. Right.
Of all. How is it him?
Jesus Christ.
It's what I'm saying. How is it all on him? I can understand where you can point out a couple. How is it this kid?
This is why, because I was in that same seat. Not like in that seat, but just how you think.
So it ain't no Bosa.
He was on this last year, though.
I was like, Acho, you tripping. This dude has so many yards, touchdowns, and I'm watching this, how good he is, right? But then you gotta look past that. Let's look at some of these results. When the defense, let's say not playing great, but our best player has the ball in his hand, everybody should be happy about that. Like, yo, we gonna win. We got the ball back, Justin Herbert, and then they lose over and over and over again. So it's like, I gotta stop looking at the stats he done did. I gotta start looking at his talent he has.
Thank you.
I gotta look at the results. And every time, even if the defense is bad, you get the ball back. Wait a minute, you get the ball back, right, with some really, really good weapons, and you still don't score and gonna win. I can't condone that.
The reason why I'm passionate about this, because I was with the Raiders when Derek Carr came in as a rookie. We had a terrible football team, right? Derek Carr was a really good young quarterback. Right? Like I told y'all before, since he came into the league, he's tied or has the most fourth quarter comebacks, right? We were losing a lot of games.
Right.
It wasn't all on this young fella. Even as good as he was, it wasn't all on him.
That team wasn't as good as this team had.
He don't play defense. And at the end of the day, man, this is a team.
But Carr, we never let Carr's a top. Carr was never a top 5 guy ever.
However bad the defense has been, he's had an opportunity to go win the game at the end of the game.
But that's my question.
They've been close enough. They've been close enough that the ball is in his hands with multiple timeouts, multiple ways to stop the clock. Ball is in your $200 million, super talented top 5.
One of them.
Is that what you want?
Stat gobbler, okay, quarterback. Shady, I can say what I want around here, okay? Gobbling up these stats, and he can't win in the fourth quarter.
But at the end of the day, though.
We're going to go to break now.
At the end of the day, though, Acho can't cover up his praise for Justin Herbert, because I asked him, what's his ceiling? He said 45-5. Correct. So that means you still watching this young fella like this young fella is special.
He is
You
special.
just said he should be a top 5
Be special and get some wins.
That's special. All right, when we return, I got a lot of defending to do. USC, their quarterback and their team has lost back-to-back games. So I put out a little tweet, which I guess kicked up all the dust in the world. I think Caleb Williams should consider, operative word being consider, shutting it down the rest of the season. I got to suspend that next.
Yeah,
He's going to be on an island on this one.
Yeah, I'm going to lead the block.
Acho Island.
Yo, they get crazy.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.